For years, fans had been waiting for this moment. The silence, the rumors, the emotional distance, everything between Yaman and Demet Özdemir had turned into one of the biggest mysteries in Turkish entertainment. But finally, Yaman has broken his silence. And what he revealed shocked everyone who ever believed in their love story. It all started with a simple question during an interview. The journalist, hesitant yet curious, asked him about the one thing everyone wanted to know: if you could go back in time, would you change how things ended with Demet? Can's face changed instantly. His eyes softened, his voice dropped, and what followed was an emotional confession that no one saw coming. He said, "We were two people who met at the wrong time but felt everything in the right way. That's the truth." The room fell silent. It wasn't just an answer, it was closure wrapped in pain. Their story began like a modern fairy tale. On the set of Erkenci Kuş, two stars found something more than chemistry, they found connection. Every glance, every scene, every laugh between them felt real. Fans weren't imagining it, their bond was undeniable. Behind the camera, their friendship deepened. On screen, it turned into magic. But as fame grew, so did the pressure. Can once said that fame can destroy beautiful things. People start to see you not as a person, but as a headline, he explained. That's exactly what happened. Every look they shared, every word they spoke was analyzed, twisted, and turned into gossip. What started as love turned into something fragile, something that couldn't breathe under the weight of public attention. Demet, always elegant and grounded, tried to protect what they had. She distanced herself, hoping the noise would fade. But the more they tried to protect their love, the more the media tried to expose it. "We didn't lose love," Can admitted. "We lost peace." When they officially parted ways, the news spread like wildfire. Fans refused to believe it. For months, the internet was full of theories. Some said jealousy, others said fame, others even believed it was a publicity stunt. But Can's confession finally brought clarity. "There was never a lie between us," he said. "Just two hearts that couldn't survive the storm around them." His words were heavy, yet calm. It was as if he had carried this truth for years and finally set it free. He continued, "People thought we stopped talking because of pride. But the truth is, sometimes silence is the only way to protect what's left." After their breakup, both tried to move on in different ways. Can threw himself into work, new roles, new countries, new challenges. Italy became his new home, his new escape. He said it helped him heal. "I needed distance to find myself again," he shared. Demet, on the other hand, focused on her career, taking on emotionally powerful roles, showing her strength and versatility. Yet, whenever they appeared in the media, the same question always followed them: will they ever cross paths again? Can's latest words suggested that the bond they shared never truly disappeared. "I will always have respect for her," he said. "Some memories are too beautiful to forget." Fans instantly noticed the emotion in his voice. It wasn't regret, it was gratitude mixed with nostalgia. He didn't blame anyone, not even fate. He simply accepted that sometimes love stories don't end, they just change form. There was a moment in the interview when Can looked away for a few seconds, clearly holding back emotion. "We both had dreams," he said softly. "But sometimes two dreams can't fit into the same sky." That line spread across social media like wildfire. Thousands of fans reposted it with broken heart emojis, calling it the most honest thing he's ever said. What makes this confession so powerful isn't just the pain in his words but the maturity behind them. Can didn't point fingers. He didn't defend himself. He simply told his truth. "If you love someone, you want them to be happy, even if it's not with you," he added. That one sentence broke millions of hearts. Because deep down, everyone knew he was talking about Demet. Demet, too, was reportedly touched by his statement. Sources close to her revealed that she watched the interview privately and remained silent afterward. She didn't post anything, didn't make any comment, but those who know her well said she was deeply moved. Some insiders even claimed she sent a short message to Can, thanking him for speaking so respectfully about their past. It's rare in this industry to see such vulnerability. Most stars hide behind polished answers, avoiding emotions. But Can chose honesty. His eyes told a story of both pain and acceptance. "It's not about who was right or wrong," he said. "It's about understanding that love can be real, even if it doesn't last forever." That confession became one of the most shared moments online. Fans from Italy, Turkey, and beyond flooded his posts with supportive comments. Some wrote, "This is the Ken we missed, real, emotional, human." Others simply said, "Demet will always be your story." Since that interview, Ken has been seen more relaxed, smiling again, focusing on his new projects but carrying a quiet strength. It's clear that speaking about the past wasn't about reopening old wounds, it was about healing. "You can't move forward if you don't make peace with yesterday," he said at the end. And that's what he did. He made peace, not just with Demet, but with everything that came with that chapter of his life. He no longer runs from questions about her, instead, he honors the memories. "I'll never forget what we shared," he said gently. "It was real. It made me who I am." For fans who followed their journey from the very beginning, this moment felt like closure. It reminded everyone that behind the fame, behind the cameras, there are real people, real emotions, and real heartbreaks. Yaman's emotional confession didn't just reveal the truth about his separation from Demet Özdemir, it reminded the world that love, even when lost, can still be beautiful. In the end, it wasn't a scandal. It wasn't a betrayal. It was simply two people who loved deeply, lived under the spotlight, and learned that sometimes love stories aren't meant to last, they're meant to teach. And as Ken walked away from that interview, smiling faintly, the world finally understood what he meant when he said, "Some goodbyes don't need words. They just need peace." Because sometimes, silence says everything. After that interview, something shifted in the public's perception of Yaman. For years, he had been seen as the strong, confident heartthrob, the man who never showed weakness. But this confession revealed a different side of him, vulnerable, sincere, and deeply human. It reminded everyone that behind the fame, there's a man who once loved deeply and lost something that shaped him forever. A few days later, reporters noticed that Ken had stopped avoiding questions about Demet. Instead of changing the topic, he spoke with calmness and respect. "She deserves happiness," he said when asked if he still follows her career. "And if she's smiling, then that's enough for me." Those words spread across the internet within hours. Fans described it as one of the purest things ever said in the world of celebrity relationships. Even Demet's closest friends reportedly said she was touched. One insider told a magazine, Demet said she felt peace after hearing him. "It was like closing a beautiful book without sadness." And maybe that's what true love really is, not possession, not bitterness, but gratitude. Yaman's confession wasn't just a story about heartbreak. It was about forgiveness, growth, and learning to love in silence. In the days that followed, fans began revisiting old clips of Erkenci Kuss, noticing every glance, every smile, every subtle moment between them. Those scenes suddenly carried new meaning, not just acting, but memories frozen in time. Can's honesty reignited the emotional connection people felt years ago. It reminded everyone that real feelings never truly disappear, they just live quietly in the background of our lives. And as one fan perfectly wrote under his latest post, "You didn't lose her, Can. You just turned love into respect." Maybe that's the most powerful ending a love story can have, quiet, mature, and unforgettable.